You got it fast, come on!
It's a pretty good drive.
Yeah, that was right. Yes! Woohoo!
Tire whisperer.
Tire whisperer.
Russell takes his third career victory.
Got him! Got him!
Hello, and welcome in to another episode of the Full Send Half Mast Podcast, episode number 81. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some racing. We had some F1, F2 at Belgium, as well as a little bit of ARCA Series racing this weekend I want to talk about. Driver Bonehead of the Week segments as always, and then we'll preview this weekend's races with IMSA at Road America. I'm super excited for that. Give you some picks there. And then we also have another cool segment that we're going to do tonight from the off season. Just like we did last week, we did our bold predictions. Tonight, we're going to do our motorsports hopes. We'll see how any of those are holding up or if any of our opinions on those have changed throughout this year, because I was watching a little bit of it earlier and I was like, I don't know how I feel about some of those opinions. So we'll talk about that and we'll react to that with you guys here tonight. But first off, I'm here with Tom tonight. Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm here. I'm ready to talk about some racing, baby.
Hell yeah. It's time to talk about some racing. Man, what a crazy weekend. I went to my local speedway this weekend to the Eva Destruction, dude. That was a ton of fun, man. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Saw some motorhomes in a figure eight running over each other. Dropped a car from a crane. We like melted a car down to the ground with a dragster. I mean, it was fun, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So, and some boat racing. Good old boat racing, tearing stuff up. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. But back to some seriousness here tonight. That's some good old like redneck fun right there, man.
I was about to say, it sounds like a good time with a big old pitcher of beer.
Oh yeah, that's that's kind of how my night went. Yeah, Sunday wasn't too kind to me, but that's all right. We live, we go on. Oh man. All right, let's talk about a little bit of news to start off, like we do every week. Kind of a little tradition here. We'll start off with a little bit of news. Esteban Ocon announced to go to Haas in 2025. I'm super excited about this. As an Ocon fan, I think this is a big W move, especially what we've been seeing with Alpine as of late, and them kind of running him off after that whole boneheaded move that he pulled off there at what was it, Monaco, when he ran into Gasly. I think that writing was on the wall at that point. I think this is a great move, Tom. I think Haas is on the up and up right now. I know they're losing Hulkenberg, but they're bringing in Behrman to replace Magnussen, or potentially, and then they're going to have Ocon as well. What are your thoughts on this move? Do you think this is a big move for Haas? Ocon, not good move? What are your thoughts?
Look, you're gonna have a hard time replacing Hulkenberg, especially for probably the price and the performance that you get out of Hulkenberg. Ocon has been a great driver in the past. Obviously, he's got a win at Alpine, and it's kind of been tainted this year, last year, um, just with how his on track performances. I'm not saying that he's not gonna be able to be a superstar because I have faith in Ocon, but it's still a Haas. I don't know. They've been doing a lot better. I just feel like Hulkenberg has really been muscling that car around, and you know anybody who thinks Hulkenberg is a bad driver or is terrible, I mean,
Reality check.
I will die on a hill saying that Hulkenberg is probably one of the top 5 best drivers in F1 right now.
Oh, I agree. I definitely top 6. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think there's much you could put ahead of him. I think you would obviously put Verstappen, Sainz.
Hamilton.
Well, yeah,
I put
Hamilton.
Hamilton up
Yeah,
there.
he's still in his prime, I would say.
Hey, what about Lando Norris?
Oh
I mean-
God, let's pump the brakes on
Hold
that
on.
one a little bit. Yeah, wait a minute, something ain't right. Oh, man.
but yeah, I think Ocon's a great driver. Let's just see what he can do in a Haas, Ferrari powered. Let's just see what he can do. I think that next year is going to be a big proving point for him. Score some points.
Well, and sometimes a change of scenery is sometimes better. I mean, it could be worse too. We've seen it both ways, but we'll see how mindset wise he takes into this consideration and can make the best of this situation. Well, speaking about signs, now he's signed with Williams. Holy cow! Albon signs at Williams. Williams, I think, is terrible, but who knows? 2026 could be a whole new generation in Formula One. Who knows? I don't know what to think. But like I said, I think Sainz is probably the second best driver in Formula One. That's my opinion. It could be debatable. I still think it's true, but I mean, now he's paired up with Albon at Williams. I don't know how I feel about that, dude.
Look, Albon's a good driver. He is. I mean, he's obviously been racing with Williams and working on his come up since the Red Bull fire. But, I still think he's a pretty good driver. Here's the deal, though. Williams does not have an excuse to blame the drivers. They've got a phenomenal driver lineup. It is all down to the engineers and the R&D team to make sure they give these two drivers a good car. Williams should be scoring in the points every race next year. They
Yes.
should be.
I mean, Williams, one of the winningest teams in F1 history. I mean, they should be competing for world championships, but that yet to be seen. I mean, it's gonna be interesting, right? Audi coming in, the new regulations 2026, tons of driver changes. I think we're gonna be into a new era of Formula One. I really do. I think we're gonna see a turn of the tides here. I think we're gonna see new teams surface to the front, and we're kind of seeing it this year. I mean, with the parity we've seen, so I think I think Formula One's on a good track now. And with that, late night, I was working last night, and I pulled up this article, just scrolling through my phone, and it had something we talked about Renault last week, right? With the they're trying to sell, or what, their F1 team, they're trying to get out of F1. I don't know how much stock I put into this article here, Tom, but there was rumors that maybe they were going to be selling to Cadillac, or Cadillac wanted to be a purchaser of the Renault racing team, which opens the door up. Is this the loophole that Andretti can use to finally get into F1?
Yeah, of course. What there would be, and I think Cadillac is investing, or GM. I think GM is investing. I mean, look, GM believed in Andretti to start up his own team. It'd almost be a little bit better to buy out a team that's already got the employees, it's got the engineers, it's got the parts. I mean, everything's rolling already. I mean, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be far fetched to me to say that GM looked at this and said, "Why don't we just buy a team? Let's just go and do it. Screw it. Whatever. We don't need to start a new team to be or to get into F1. We can buy a team and make it competitive. We've got the cash flow. Let's do it."
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it would have been cool though, low key, if it would have been Haas got partnered with GM and then
Yeah,
did a
that would-
partnership with Andretti. Wouldn't that be freaking amazing? Just one American
Yeah.
banner, like as
Yeah.
one team. That'd have been cool. But still, I don't know. Renault, I don't know. It would suck to see him leave. I mean, they've been a staple of Formula One pretty much my entire lifetime, so that would kind of suck to see them gone. But
Yeah.
then again, I mean, bring in Cadillac and then maybe or Andretti. I mean, FOM still has to prove it and everything. So I don't know. It's this. I don't know how much stock I put in this article. This is one of those 1 a.m., 2 a.m. scrolling through your phone, catch a random article by some Joe Blow you've never heard of, and you read it and you're like, okay. so take that with a grain of salt. I just thought it'd be something worth bringing up because, like Tom said, why not? I mean, go buy an existing team. I mean, honestly, that might be their only option at this point. Also, goodbye, Corey LaJoy. The LaJoy dozer out at Spire. I mean, this is kind of old news. That was 5 days ago. That was after the podcast last week. But yeah, Corey LaJoy not returning to Spire next year. How awesome, dude. Dude, that was so great.
Man, if you can't win a race in any division, you can't get a cup ride. Or pole.
Or keep climbing through the ladder.
Or consistent top 5s. Or consistent top 10s. You know? Or finishing above 20th in points at the end of the year. I mean, it's a crazy concept, I know. Crazy.
You know how many people should be feeling really silly right now? Is all of the big talking heads of motorsports in the offseason that had Corey LaJoy winning a race and making the playoffs this year. How great did that age? And yeah, that did age for a damn, dude. We never said that, and we're the idiots.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then people are talking about Kyle Busch in the 7 car. Like, dude, these people completely forget that Michael McDowell signed with Spire. Where are they going to put McDowell at? Obviously, he's going to the 7. Like, calm down with this Kyle Busch to frickin' Spire or whoever else they think they're going to throw in that car. It's going to be McDowell in the 7 car. I'd put money on it right now if I could.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Are they keeping Zane Smith next year?
Well, they've got 3 charters. I mean, what are they going to do? What? I mean, honestly,
Upgrade?
what are they going to do?
I don't know.
And they've got 3 charters, 3 drivers, 3 cars. And what are they going to do? Zane Smith's leased out through Trackhouse. When the contract came out, there was no time limit on it. It was a minimum of 1 year is what the contract said. That could mean 10 years. Who freaking knows, man? A minimum of 1 year, that's the most broad contract statement you could ever make. So, yeah. I don't know. I think we'll definitely see McDowell in that 7 car next year. But goodbye LaJoy, man. Goodbye the memes. Goodbye the troll. Goodbye the maybe you could just keep stacking pennies.
I see what you did there.
Oh man.
Remember, I'm the idiot.
Yeah, we're the idiots. We're the local YouTube idiots right here. Oh man. Also, Renus VK Prima. You want to talk about that, Tom?
There is a rumor of a verbal agreement with Renus VK and Prima in IndyCar. So, obviously, Prima's gonna shake it up a little bit. Maybe bring in a driver. Apparently, that has also been rumored with Logan Sargent. So you get a Logan Sargent Renus VK lineup. The Renus VK is actually a pretty good driver. It's just unfortunate with the Ed Carpenter equipment that they have. It's just not that good. So I think that if Prima wants to dump a whole bunch of money in, you grab a driver who's already been driving in the series. I mean, that's an obvious, right? You go and grab VK. You bring him in, and actually, Jay, did they announce a 2-car effort? I think they did.
Yes.
Didn't they?
Yeah, it'll be official 2-car. Yep.
So there you have it. So you've got a driver that's already been racing in the IndyCar series for 5 years, 4 years, something like that. And then you get Logan Sargent, XF1 driver, and you come over here and you get the, I don't know, expertise of VK and you get the F1 experience of Sargent. It's really not a bad strategy. obviously Logan Sargent has some sort of racing talent, right? And it's not in Formula One. It's just not. Albon's been able to do, I mean, a lot more with that car than Logan Sargent has. And not even taking into account of him puking in his car. What was it, at Bahrain?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and retiring from the race for that. I mean, maybe IndyCar is part of his journey. We'll see. But I still think that's probably a smart move. Let's see what Logan Sargent can do. Let's get somebody in the IndyCar world already, get him on our team, and then just develop. And that's it. That's a great move by Prima, I think.
Yeah. The only thing that surprised me there is Alexander Rossi's on the market. So that's the one thing that gets me a little skeptical. Unless Rossi's like, I'm going up. I'm not going to go lateral. Which, I mean, granted, I think he deserves an opportunity to go up and not lateral. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Alexander Rossi. Once the Alexander Rossi domino falls, I think we're going to see a lot more fall pretty quickly after that. So
yeah, well, Rossi is the hot ticket item right now.
Oh yeah, he's the best driver on the market for sure. If anybody's got a spot, they're gonna bring him in for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he could go to Rahal. He could switch seats with Lundgaard.
That's true. So, that would be a great move by Rahal. Holy cow, man! That would be mainstream. Yeah, that would be huge.
You get Rossi in there, and you dump Fittipaldi, and you bring up
go to 2-car teams. Screw it, man. Keep Rahal in there for one more year. True. Bring in Rossi, and then after after Rahal goes and does management, then you bring in a good up and coming rookie.
Abel.
Yeah, like Jacob Abel or Louis Foster or Jamie Chadwick even. I think she's got a lot of talent. I think the right equipment, I think she could do something.
I'd say give it
I'd
one
get
more
a couple
year
more
with
year.
Chadwick.
Yeah, I think she needs one more year at least in NEXT. I agree 100%. Like next year when Foster and Abel are out, like she's going to be the front runner for championship with Colette and Miles Rowe and we'll see what that championship battle looks like next year. But yeah, no, I agree. I think, once the Rossi domino falls, I think we're going to see a lot more fall. So big news. All right. I think that does news. Let's recap the races real quick, and then we'll get into our special segment for the evening. So first off, on Saturday, we had the ARCA series. They're racing this weekend at Salem for the ARCA 200. William Swalich on pole. Basically this was just a typical Wreckfest ARCA race.
ARCA race, baby. That's all it was. I was waiting to say that. It was just an ARCA race. Holy cow.
Oh, it was great, dude. I enjoyed it. So we had Amber Balkan wreck at one point. Chris Wright wrecks at one point. The most comical moment of this race for me though, Tom. Holy cow. Lap 89, we had a bunch of back markers get into a mix-up or whatnot, all spinning around the track. And Jake Finch, of all people, dude, Jake Finch comes in there with an absolute TKO freaking ARCA break moment. I think top 5 ARCA break moment of the year. I mean, we still got Big Willie. Big Willie's still up there. We got Haley Deegan up there a little bit. But yeah, this was bad by Jake Finch. I did not see this coming. Yeah, he absolutely obliterated the front end of that car. He flew in there probably 20, 30 miles per hour faster than everybody else. And then he gets on the radio and has the audacity to say, I just couldn't slow her down. Like, you couldn't slow down, but everybody around you slowed down. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about that. That was weird.
And he hit him like 5 seconds after everybody stopped.
It was bad, dude. It looked so bad.
Everybody else is slowing down literally all around him. And he just comes in like a heat-seeking missile. I mean, he just absolutely pile drive that guy.
Dude, it was incredible, dude. Oh, man.
That on a highlight reel.
Yeah, dude, that definitely makes the highlight reel. Oh, man. And then, the moment that really irritated me, because if you've been around the channel a while, you guys know that I'm a pretty big Corey Day fan. Like, I'm pulling for Corey Day, because I think we've seen what he's done in midgets, at some of the big marquee events. He's in the high limit this year. He's won a lot of high limit races. Kyle Larson's out here promoting him, saying that he's better than even I am. I think Corey Day is an exceptional talent. He makes his ARCA debut this weekend, running with LeVar Scott, I believe, for P2. Coming off of turn 2, they both make contact, sending Corey Day up into the wall, collecting Tony Breidinger, ending Corey Day's amazing run in his ARCA debut at P2. Will he have been able to beat William Swalich? Most likely not. But P2 in your debut, man? In the ARCA series? I mean, what a great run that Corey Day had. Got completely stunted with LeVar Scott. I've watched it back several times. I just don't know how I feel about it, man. I don't know who to put the blame on because I guess you could chalk it up to maybe lack of experience for Corey Day. I think that's what I would chalk it up to. He comes off the corner off of turn 2. LeVar Scott did have maybe a fender to his right rear there. Maybe Corey Day thought that he would concede the position. Maybe LeVar Scott thought maybe I'm still on the outside here. Not in a good position. Like, to be honest, I don't think LeVar Scott should have stayed to the outside there. There wasn't enough room to begin with. I don't know. I think I just chalked this up to lack of experience. I don't think it's a good representation of how good either of those drivers are, because I think LeVar Scott's got a lot of talent too, and he proved it by the whole race, running in the top 3 the whole time. And then Corey Day, unfortunately, gets taken out. I mean, do you see it as a malicious event by LeVar Scott? Do you think it's malicious by Corey Day? Racing incident, lack of experience? Like, what do you chalk it up to? I'm going with lack of experience. I feel like that's really what it comes down to.
I mean, it was his first race, right? It was his first time in the car, first time at the track. Sure.
Yeah. And he's an open wheel guy. He's not a stock car guy. Like, that's a whole different, like, in a sprint car in that situation, the guy on the outside is going to lift. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, you're going to have to lift, and the guy on the inside is going to have the leverage, and then you're going to set him up in the next corner with either an inside slide job or rip the wall or whatever. You're going to go the opposite of the guy in front of you. But in a stock car, I mean, they're made to basically run side by side. So, yeah, I think it's just a lack of experience. I really do. But nonetheless, though, great run by Corey Day. It was up in the top 5 all day, making moves late in the race and trying to move himself up towards the front, try and contend with Swalich, and unfortunately it ends. Unfortunately, though, collects Tony Breidinger. I mean, god damn, man. Oh, the more time that goes on, dude, the less I am a
like
fan of
8th
her.
place, 1 lap down.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
That was not... What did we say last week?
Yeah, I can't remember what we said exactly last week.
If
but I know
she's
what
not on the lead lap,
yeah,
battling for the win, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
That every opportunity, they had a guy who's never been in the car, never been at the track, racing around the track, battling for what, 3rd, 2nd?
2nd, yeah.
So, she's been in the sport for 2.5 years now?
It's over.
It's done.
Yeah, it's over.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
You should,
Well, that's the thing we
she should
said.
have been winning races this year, bottom line.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, because we said, like, her first year, like, she was moving from top 10s up to top 5s, and then we're like, okay,
Yeah.
now she can get top 5s. Now it's time to get podiums and wins, and it just hasn't happened. She's flatlined. So
Yep.
it is what it is, man. It's just not everybody's meant to be a big time superstar race car driver, and it just hasn't panned out.
That's right. Oh.
Alrighty. And then Gustine, unfortunately, had a tire go down with 50 laps to go. That was the final caution of the day. That stinks, but that's short track racing, man. And then William Swalich, he goes on to win. I believe 3 cars finished on the lead lap. It was Swalich, LeVar Scott, Andres Perez. So, good ARCA race. We got another one this weekend. I can't wait to talk about that with you guys here in a little bit. But, yeah, William Swalich continues his dominance. Definitely the odds-on favorite every week to win every ARCA race. I mean, he's that good. So, is there anything else you want to add to the ARCA race this weekend, Tom? Besides, it was just an ARCA race. It was an ARCA, baby.
ARCA, baby.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I can't wait
That's
for
how
this
it is.
weekend's race. Everybody's like, oh, NASCAR's going. It's like, dude, the ARCA's still going. We still got some Formula 1. This weekend we got some IMSA. I mean, we still got races during the Olympic break. So, all right. Let's talk about some F2. Sprint race, there's nothing to talk about here. O'Sullivan on pole, he wins because we had a safety car on lap 4 with Marty having mechanical issues, and then it rained too bad that they ended up red flagging and canceling it. on lap 8. So nothing to talk about there. But then the F2 Grand Prix on Sunday was actually something to talk about. We have Aaron, who's competing for the championship this year. He was qualified on pole. We had a big crash on lap 1, turn number 1. Oliver Behrman, man. I don't know what he was thinking in this situation. He's way back buried in the field. Going into turn 1, he completely changes lanes up to the left. And unfortunately, there's like 2 cars there. So he ends up turning himself off the nose of somebody. I can't even remember who it was. There was so many cars in that mix. And ends up getting spun right up into turn 1 wall. And collects Marty as well. I mean, big time wreck there. And then we have another big crash on lap 4 with Correa and Victor Martins wrecking. I mean, kind of similar to the same Behrman Marty effect. So a lot of just unaware situations by a lot of drivers. But then again, this is like ARCA, F2 ARCA. What do you expect? I mean, that's all we get during the Olympic break. But then I want to talk about the awesome battle between Aaron and Hadjar. These are your 2 front runners for the championship in Formula 2 this year. Battling for the lead late in this race. Exactly what you want in a championship battle. Your best drivers battling it out. Swapping the lead multiple times. Hadjar eventually gets to the lead and takes off with it. Then Aaron on the final lap. I think he fell down at P3 at the time on the final lap. He ends up having mechanical issues and stalls. And the announcer made it just seem like the championship's over. like you would have thought this dude was like, this is the end of the world, man. The sky is falling. He's done on the final lap. The championship's over. I was like, damn, dude, the dramatics, dude. What am I watching? Drama TV. Oh man, but yeah, it's unfortunate, man. He was running in a podium position, still staying in touch with Hadjar, who's pretty much dominated this year, and yeah, that's unfortunate. That stinks. But Hadjar gets another win here at Spa, and I am not going to get into the dramatics the broadcasters went into, but I do think the championship is pretty much wrapped up now, unless Hadjar has an absolutely destructive finish to this season. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, there's about 4 or 5 more F2 race or 2 weekends this year, so there could be stuff that changes, but it's kind of looking like Porsche last year, where he built a big enough lead going into the end of the year. Even when Vesti got hot late, didn't really matter. I feel like it's kind of the same way here with Hadjar. So, congratulations on him winning this race. You want to talk about some F1 now? The Belgian Grand Prix? Yes. I mean, how about that, dude? Leclerc on pole, well, provisional pole because Verstappen qualified pole, but had the 10 grid spot penalty, has to start deep in the field. And from there, it was Mercedes dominance, right? I mean, Mercedes had the fastest cars, I feel like, in this race, which we've been saying it's been McLaren, but damn, dude, the pace of Hamilton in this race was relentless.
I think that Verstappen and Red Bull still had the fastest car. They were just buried in traffic. And, Max starts to self-destruct when he has to pass cars. And so that was probably most of his day was self-destructing and just not on the radio because of the situation in Hungary. But, look, I just want to say one thing. And it's much like what I said about Hamilton at Silverstone. George Russell had a career drive that day. It was honestly amazing what he was able to do. 33 laps, not stopping, non-stop. That dude went 33 laps around Spa, not a single mistake. Not any time he went off the track, consistent and fast. I mean, that was impressive. Really, it is. Everybody else did 2 stops and whatever, but that one stop that he did was absolutely phenomenal. I just hats off to that because that is very, very impressive. I don't think that Mercedes planned for that at all. I think they made a horrible audible. Hamilton was going to win the race anyways. I mean, they were either going to be 1.5 kg underweight or they were going to finish second. So why not risk it? I mean, it's not like you're going to be racing for a championship anyways. you know. But I just wanted to say that because I've shit on Russell a lot in the previous years. I don't personally like the guy. I think he's kind of a drama queen, like rich guy. You know what I mean? I can't relate. I don't like the dude. You know, so but credit where credit is due. He drove a phenomenal race. I will die on that hill as well. And I mean, because I've been on X and I've been reading what everybody's been saying about, oh, he was 1.5 underweight. That's how he was so fast. And it's like,
What?
well, because there was an article like 10 years ago. Christian Horner said, 1 kilogram of weight is 0.4 of a second on a lap. Super freaking broad, right? I mean, they weren't even talking about the circuit of what track they were racing on for that data. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, but you guys still don't take into account dirty air and a flawless race, right? Hamilton should have passed him in the last 2 laps. He should have. He couldn't. The dirty air was too bad. It was awful. Even if you give him that 1.5 kg of weight, Hamilton's still not going to pass him. It's just not going to happen. It's just unfortunate, the circumstances. But I wanted to say that just because of how much I've not liked Russell, and I think, the credit is due.
Yeah, I think it was a great race. I thought I was watching one of those next-gen NASCAR races there for a little while with the way those tires were lasting. One-stop strategy. Holy cow. Actually, honestly, watching that race, those final few laps, dude, I thought Piastri was legitimately going to win that race because he was flying at the end there.
Yeah, he was.
But then again, the same thing that was affecting Hamilton was
the
dirty air. So, yeah. Well, yeah. So Russell did win the race, but he didn't get to keep the trophy or anything, or any of the accolades that come with it. Russell, or he got, like you said, disqualified, 1.5 kilograms underweight, and Lewis Hamilton ends up winning. That promoted Piastri to P2 and Leclerc to P3. So, changed the outcome there a little bit. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it was a strategy race, and that's kind of what we wanted. We still have 7 different winners. That didn't really change that outcome because both of them had already won this year. So, yeah, interesting.
And GG's to Piastri.
Yeah,
what a phenomenal race.
I mean, Norris had the same opportunity as Piastri did, and Norris didn't even get through the field like Piastri did. So, big shout out to Piastri. He had to get by the Ferraris. I mean, he had to race by the Ferraris, and he had to also get by Perez, which, God, let's talk about how terrible Perez is. I think this weekend saved his F1 career. This weekend saved his career. Qualified P2.
Oh, it's a freaking P7 finish, though.
I know, but he saved his weekend.
God, it's like, I mean, cool, you could qualify P2, like, congratulations. What about the points? That's what I would be concerned about. I mean, I don't know. Actually, what is Christian Horner concerned about at this point? I mean, I think the dude's just happy he still has a job.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And then you got old sleepy Helmut Marko over here, probably doesn't even understand what's going on. And
probably doesn't even care.
Shaking his head. Yeah, exactly. He just likes flying on an airplane, getting free mimosas or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all he cares about, getting the Paddock Club experience.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Partying on the dance floor.
Yeah. He's so ready for this break. He can go chill in his mansion and drink mimosas and play golf. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so we'll take a look at the point standings for Formula 1. Verstappen extends his points lead over Norris by just a couple points. It's up to 78 now. And Leclerc is now 100 points behind Verstappen in third. Constructors, Red Bull and McLaren are separated by 42 points, and then Ferrari 63 back. So, I mean, it's same as it was basically last week. Just a few point change here and there. So, and I still think, I know I saw my bold prediction last week. I still think Ferrari's going to win Constructors title, man. I really do. I think you called it. I think Leclerc's going to win at Vegas, and then we've seen how good they are at the end of every single season. Like last year, they turned up at the end of the year, and I think they're going to do it again this year. And I feel like we got a glimpse of it this weekend with the qualifying pace that they had, and not only that, the race pace. Because usually we've seen them qualify like P6, 7, and they just level right there the whole race, and they don't get any further up the grid. This week, they actually were able to maintain their pace and run faster than like Verstappen got by Perez, or faster than Norris through the race pace. I think legitimately that Ferrari could still bounce back and win this constructors title.
You know, it happens every year with Ferrari. It's
Yeah.
almost like they don't start developing the next year's car until after the last race, and it's that horrible cycle that they're in every year.
Every year.
The first 3 quarters of the year, they're just booty. I mean,
Well, they started strong this year, but
yes,
then they
that
fell
is the
off
outlier.
like a cliff.
That is the outlier, right? I mean, I don't know. It's so weird to me. You know, they just have. It's almost like they have a completely different R&D schedule than everybody else.
Oh,
Which
completely
could
backwards.
work.
Well,
I
it
mean,
works if you're
you gotta
trying to
try
turn up
something
at the right
different.
time of the year. You know, like if this
Yeah.
was NASCAR, like these dudes would win championships every year. Fortunately, it's Formula One where you got to be on it the whole year. So yeah. Alrighty. Drivers of the week. I'm gonna nominate Will Kimmel, P4 in the ARCA race, making like a one-off start. That was a great run by him. Christian Rose, that was my dark horse last week. He has a P5, so congratulations to him in the ARCA race. And then Daniel Ricciardo, let's give him a shout out. P10. I think this is the first time he's got points in a long freaking time, man. Holy cow. I can't believe it. I mean, he didn't, but he did because of the disqualification. So gotta give him a shout out. And then obviously Boneheads of the week, Chris Wright, him wrecking, running out of talent, doing Chris Wright things. Jake Finch, ARCA break moment of the year, or one of the ARCA break moments of the year. In the ARCA race as well. And then Oliver Behrman wrecking himself in Formula 2. I mean, that was just boneheaded. I mean, you don't expect that from someone who's supposed to be the next best F1 driver. I mean, especially, it was just dumb. If you guys get a chance, go watch it. It was just dumb. I don't know what he was doing. That was dumb. But those will be our driver and bonehead of the week and our point standings. And with that being said, Tom, I think it's
I got
time.
one
Oh, you
thing.
got one more thing? Go for it.
Yeah, because I just got it on my phone. Breaking news. All right.
Ooh.
There is an article from Essentially Sports. I've never heard of them,
I don't know how much stock I put in that.
but it is from a reputable source that is stating this. The article is stating that Pitbull is selling his shares in Trackhouse.
Okay. I think I did actually read something to that effect last night as well. I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. Wow. Well, I was wondering why he hasn't been at the track over the last year and a half.
He got bored.
Yeah. It was just a one and done little venture. Probably got his return on investment and was like, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was fun. Well, let's dip. Well, take that with what you will, but that just goes to show not even some people even care about NASCAR. So, alrighty. Are you ready, Tom, to do our special segment of the evening? This is a video from the offseason. Some hopes that we had going into 2024. And we'll watch it with you guys. It's about 14-ish minutes long. And it's actually 14 and a half exactly. We'll pause it at certain points if there's things that we agree or disagree with. So, Tom, if there's something that I say or you say or Jared says, just interrupt it and we'll pause and talk about it. So, let's bring this up. Let me share my screen. Make sure.
Do you need me to stop sharing mine?
No, you can keep sharing.
Okay.
Let me just change camera angles here. Turn this on. All right. Let's roll.
Dope.
We kind of just want to give you some of our hopes, dreams, ambitions. I don't know what we want most to happen here in 2024. Maybe some things that we've talked before about, maybe things we haven't talked about before. Just kind of some little things that we kind of want to see here in 2024. I guess I'll lead off, then I'll let Tom kind of go, and then we'll let Jared kind of give some of his feedback. My first thing is, I'm just super high on these two drivers in particular, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed. I just hope this year they just find the success that we have been longing for. Maybe not all racing fans, because a lot of people probably don't have a good opinion of these two drivers, but I think these two drivers are probably two of the most cup-ready drivers that aren't racing in the Cup Series. These guys have deserved Cup rides. They will hopefully someday both have Cup rides. I just want to see them do extremely well this year.
I do want to say something. We haven't seen Moffitt but like a handful of races this year. So really that was kind of my hope to begin with by saying this. I wanted to see him at least run some Xfinity truck races and potentially.
Yeah, but was this pre Haley Deegan announcement?
No, this is post Haley Deegan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like right after the Chili Bowl, I think, when we made this episode.
Oh,
so that would have been right before the Rolex. So yeah. But I mean, I don't know how I feel about Creed being a Cup driver yet. I want to see him start winning some races first. So that'd be my only reservation. And Moffitt gets some more starts. But then again, when the Haley Deegan announcement was made, AM Racing said they're going 2-car team, part-time with the 25. When this all around this time when we made this, and that never materialized.
Wrecked too many cars.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Another one, I want to see Front Row continue to have success and continue to get faster. I mean, this team we've seen them from the beginning of their NASCAR ventures, where they were a back marker, barely could finish races type team. Then they go on and win some races with different drivers throughout the years. And they finally look like a team that is a consistent playoff team in NASCAR. We saw Michael McDowell win a couple races over the last couple of years. I think that he is going to continue to be successful. Todd Gillen, me and Tom.
Okay, well, that didn't age well because Michael McDowell isn't going to be racing there anymore. Rest in peace.
I've been super high on Todd Gillen all of last year. This is his third year. And if you look to Harrison Burton, for example, who is in the exact same scenario with a Ford team, I would say probably even a more successful Ford team with the track record Wood Brothers have had, with the drivers they've had and the support they get. I feel like Todd Gillen is going to win races this year. And I put it on my bold predictions. I think he's going to win a race this year. He's going to be a Cup Series winner. And I am super excited to see as Front Row continues to progress. Also,
okay, so that aged well because Todd Gillen, 20th in points, not going to make it on points to the championship. There's only 3 races left. He's too far out. What do we got? 13 more races in the season. There's still a chance it could win. We still got a third of the season left. And then, yeah, what, Burton? He's gone, right? He got fired after this year, so that aged all right, I guess, to an extent. Do you still think Burton can win, or I mean not Burton, but like Gillen can win a race this year? I still believe.
I mean, there's absolutely opportunities for him to win a race this year. Absolutely.
Let's hope it happens before the season or regular season ends. I would love to see him.
Oh, of course. I think though that if you can't see that, I mean, wow. Sorry. I guess.
Well, I know that the public opinion of Todd Gillen's kind of changed. I've seen a lot of positive comments about him recently.
Really?
So. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
I've seen actually quite a bit of positive. People are like, yeah, the McDowell's leaving. That means Gillen's going to be our P1 driver over here at Front Row. And I'm like, all right, cool. People are actually seeing it now, man. So.
Cool.
So, Alpine in Formula One.
Ooh.
This team is like my team. I love pulling for Alpine. I think it's just an amazing story. French team, French manufacturer, French drivers. Just they are just. The problem is they're just a mid-tier team. I mean, they're not bad enough to be in the bottom 5, but they're not good enough to be in the top 5 either. They're just right in the middle, smack dab, competing against themselves. I want to see them take a step forward. I want to see them compete with the Aston Martins and the Ferraris of the world. I want to see them get more podiums. I want to see these drivers win races. And maybe in a couple more years down the line, when the 2026 package comes around, maybe they'll be the front runners of that entire package, and they'll be able to take this Alpine team to the top with the event.
Okay, so there's rumors that they could be selling to Cadillac. Ocon's gone. They have not improved at all. They've actually degressed to a point where they're irrelevant. Like, damn, dude, what happened? Alpine, man. They were looking on the up and up.
Fernando Alonso left.
Well, I don't even think it's just that. I mean, I'm talking about like last year, dude. Like last year, they were actually semi-decent. I mean, they were getting points pretty consistently. At least one or two of them were getting points on a week-to-week basis.
They were just working off of Fernando's God's work.
I guess, man. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Got him on men.
And the thing that stinks too is their investment got higher in that amount of time.
Yeah,
Like they've got like millionaire Hollywood actors and stuff investing in this team, and they've just completely downgraded. It's crazy.
Investors they have coming in, it just everything looks up for Alpine. I want to see this year be a big step.
Oh God, I even said it too.
This is kind of a two-part thing. I want to see Kyle Larson just have an absolutely amazing year this year. I want to see him win multiple crown jewel events in NASCAR. I want to see him win the Indy 500. I think it would be the coolest damn thing in the world if he could go out and win the Indy 500, catch a helicopter back to Charlotte, and win the 600 in the same day. If anybody that's ever ran the double, I think he's got the best chance of anybody. And I'm saying,
well, did that happen, Tom? Did he even compete in the 600?
No.
Oh man, I think in the off season this was a great point to bring up, but after the Bristol tires comment,
man.
that really kind of turned me off with Larson.
Yeah.
even better than Tony Stewart. I think that Kyle Larson could really do this. I want to see it so bad. As somebody that just wants to see great racing and to see history be made, something that the world could rally behind and really take this story to put motorsports on the front page of everything, Kyle Larson's that guy.
Okay. That I still believe in. That I still believe.
Right on the head, though.
Yes.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. Yeah. And and honestly, that's what we need. Somebody in motorsports to do that. Like, rumors. I mean, I bring this up, but there's rumors that maybe potentially Fernando Alonso will sign a 3-year IndyCar 500 contract. So, who knows? Who knows? And if that happens, there's our next storyline. There's our next blockbuster. There's our next person to pull for. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he accomplished what I hoped. So I'll give him that.
Kyle Larson is that guy. His season got to a little rough start there with the whole Chili Bowl failure, but he ends up going out and winning a race at the Wild West Shootout. I want to see him just continue to win a bunch of stuff this year. I just think I think he is the best driver right now that we have in North America, besides maybe Alex Blow. I just want to see him do great things. Also, I want North Wilkesboro to survive. I want it to get past the cancerous fan base that NASCAR has. I know what the reception of it's going to be after this year's All-Star race, and it just really saddens me.
Can we just take a minute to thank Ricky Roundhouse Jr. and his SpongeBob pants to save North Wilkesboro? Can we just take a moment of silence? Yes, he saved it. He did. He saved North Wilkesboro. What a legend, man. Him and Senior, man. They did it.
I want to see this track survive. I want to see it get put onto a points-paying race. I want to see this race play out with the 400 miles with no stages. I think that would be the best NASCAR race we could ever ask for. Even with the terrible short track package, even with these terrible cars, I just think that it's so old school and we need.
Okay, we never mentioned the terrible tires because this year it got worse than it ever had been. I don't know if you agree with that. I mean, it was bad last year, but this year's just been freaking abysmal with tires.
Yeah, but I feel like we've iterated it every podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we've beaten that tree till it's just absolutely
it's like ground horse right now from beating that thing over and over again.
Facts. Need that old school aspect back in racing. I hope it survives. And then also, I'm excited for the second season of the High Limit Sprint Cars. We saw Kyle Larson. It's his series. Everybody's coming to try and compete against Larson to win this High Limit Sprint Car series. I want to see who takes a step this year and puts it to Larson in the High Limit Sprint Cars. I want to see who that next great, amazing race car driver is. It could be Corey Day. I mean, this guy really impressed the hell out of me at the Chili Bowl. This is a guy that I think if he gets an opportunity at
Corey Day, James McFadden, Corey Eliason. We saw Macedo win a race. I mean, Brad Sweet has been dominating. I mean, we've seen great racing in high limit this year, so I feel like that lived up.
something bigger and better than what he's in now, I think this is a guy to watch out for. I'm excited to see somebody take it to Larson. See Rico Abreu again, just dominating up in the sprint car world. I mean, he is such a great driver, so fun to watch. And then also another thing I would really like to see in 2024 is I want to see Denny Hamlin go winless. I think I just am so tired of this I can't win a championship. I'm gonna let everything get to my head, and all these people on the internet. Just, I mean, and I love the drama and I love the hill aspect of motorsports, but this guy is just an absolute clown. I am just, the more time that goes by, the less I respect him. I don't know why. I just feel that way.
Did you see that he proposed to his wife?
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Just the weirdest clownery, dude. It's just the weird stuff, dude.
It's weird.
He hasn't
And I
changed.
just want to see Reddick in his owned cars do better than him this year. And
he is.
so winless.
He
and
is.
then really kind of just level the tides here. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm looking at. And then I don't know, my last one here, and it's just because I'm a huge Hendrick guy, always been a Hendrick guy, and
Well,
I don't know. I just want to see. I want to see William Byron, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson. I want to see those three guys compete for a championship this year. I think it would be freaking awesome if all three of those guys made the Final Four this year.
Well, they're all
With Logano,
one.
because we already know Logano's going to make it. It's an even year. I hate to tell you, it's just going to happen. But I would like to see those three guys all go to the championship four and battle with each other. I just think it'd be freaking awesome. As a Hendrick homer, like I am, I just think it'd be cool to see that happen. So those are my hopes for 2024.
All right. I'm going to put this P1 because it is my most hopeful. I'll explain why. Mercedes on the bottom. Worse than Williams. That's what I want to see.
That did not age well.
Why? You guys are the
No.
worst fans in the whole world. You guys are worse than Dallas Cowboy fans. You guys are worse than Manchester United fans. You guys are just
Yes.
terrible. You guys take facts out of, Kermit's brown finger, and you guys just think it's the greatest thing since God gave us sliced bread. It's the facts aren't even facts. They're just I can't even
It's still
I can't
true,
even
though.
fathom
That's true.
where this
That's
comes
still
from.
true.
Okay,
You brought it up today.
just
I did.
terrible. You fans are the reason why I hate Mercedes. And the reason, why, and also because of how George Russell says Tuesday. All right. What I also
Has your opinion of Mercedes changed? I mean, you brought it up today,
No.
a fact that they brought up that was pointless,
Yeah, no, my opinion hasn't changed. Look, you can even see me. I gave George Russell so much shit throughout the years,
Yeah.
and I will eat crow when it's applicable, right? I will, but my opinion of it all still stays the same. And anything that I just said right there, you can look back the past freaking 10 years on X, Twitter, and look at some of the crap that you fans say. It's the same repetitive diarrhea coming out of your mouth. It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh man, this is great. This is fun.
want to see is I want Alex Palou to go back to back. And I think it's
I
entirely
think it's gonna
possible.
happen.
He's just
100%.
going to be. Look, I think we're in the Palou era for IndyCar,
Facts.
and can't do anything about it. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. One of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. He doesn't have a stain on his record at all. I mean, he's.
What Zach Brown today? I mean,
Oh my god! If you guys are in our Discord, go read the IndyCar drama tab. It's just ungoddamn believable what this moron can come up with. I mean, I swear this guy sits in his bed, twiddles his thumbs for 3 hours, thinking about how he can motherfuck someone, that he can't even talk to anymore because he screwed that deal. The biggest clown in motorsports has got to be Zach Brown. There's nobody else out there who makes themselves look like such an absolute moron from a minute-to-minute basis. There is nobody else out there. I'm very passionate about this because I don't like these guys are cancers. All right, and it's just terrible for drivers. I mean, it's great for drama. I mean, it reels people in. I get it, but I can't get behind it, man. I mean, I can't. That's just awful. That's just a terrible human being, honestly.
Yeah, and he weasels his way into everything to get himself in
Yeah.
these situations. Yeah, he's an absolute cancer.
Oh, you're having a private conversation. Let me freaking butt in there and put in my 2 cents. You know, I mean, typical American.
Yep.
Typical.
Yep.
Just
That's
the
about it.
coolest guy that you can get. And McLaren almost swindled him. Almost. I want to see Moffitt finding a ride.
Nah.
I think that's it's a long shot.
He's had a few
I really
strands,
do, just
few
because
select starts.
Moffitt's passed. He has a hard time finding rides. When he does find a ride, it's some underfunded team, and he makes it. He makes it the power to be, and then he gets kicked out over crap. So I think Moffitt needs to stop being the nice guy, because nice guys finish last. I really, really, really want to see the Aussie invasion be a success. I really
Yes.
do. And I want everybody to realize that that is a good thing.
Yes. I mean, how many Aussies have come over this year? We've had Kostecki, we've had Will Brown, we've had SVG. We've got, well, that's just in NASCAR alone, but we also had like McLaughlin moving over to IndyCar, and now he's wanting to maybe run NASCAR. I mean, he's thought about it. He kind of wants to run the double one of these years. So SVG wants to maybe potentially run the double too. I mean, this Aussie invasion, we saw it in IndyCar years ago, and now it's happening in NASCAR. Freaking beautiful, man. And I think it's a
It's
success.
great.
I don't
It
think
is
there's
a
anything that's
success.
failed about it.
There is nothing that you can take away from this that is negative. You gain a whole bunch of fans, you gain some amazing drivers,
Yes.
you know, and then you create amazing on-track racing. Look at Chicago, him and Larson in the Xfinity race.
Beautiful.
Look at Sonoma with him and Austin Hill and the
Beautiful.
drama that created. I mean, it's just a Portland. Oh my God, what a performance
What an
out of
absolute
SVG.
drive. Yes.
It was one for the history books.
Yes.
It'll always be one for the history. If you ever look back at an Xfinity road course race that you maybe want to intrigue a friend with,
That was
it's
amazing.
Portland 2024. That was an amazing race. So was Chicago.
Yeah.
And so was Portland. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all amazing, but like that Portland performance really solidified SVG's
He made it.
roots in
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That was a amazing victory. That was awesome.
Yeah. And now we got high limit sprint cars. They're doing a race in Australia now.
That's
I mean,
right. I forgot
We've
about
got
that.
so many this is beautiful for motorsports that we're linking up like this. I love it, man. I love it.
Because it is. There's nothing wrong about it. It is great to get new spectators in the sport. It's great to get new fans in the
Facts.
sport.
Facts.
It's great to get new drivers in the sport.
Facts.
If we could get 4 F1 drivers tomorrow, we should welcome them with open arms.
Yes.
And honestly, that is where we find.
That's what IndyCar's done for the last
Yeah.
10 years. They bring in all
they're
these
still
F1
doing it.
drivers and look at the success. I mean, we've got Ericsson, Rossi, Bourdais, I mean,
Grosjean.
back and forth. Grosjean now. I'm trying to think who else. I'm blanking out here.
Montoya,
Montoya in the past. And then it we could
Fittipaldi.
have Fittipaldi. We could have we had well, not an F1 driver, but we had Porsche this year driving some
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Formula. Takuma Sada. Let's see. And now maybe next year Logan Sargent. I mean, Fernando Alonso. I mean, there's
Yeah.
rumors that he could potentially. So, and Bottas has expressed interest in finishing his career in IndyCar. So, I mean, yes, It's big when you can bring in people from international stages to America to race. It's huge.
Find the sport growing. Sponsors, people,
Yes.
fans, countries. It doesn't matter. That's how we grow. So I hope that this baby step with Australia doesn't turn into a baby step. It turns into a leap. And we get enough buy-in, which we are. We've got a lot of buy-in. It's going to happen. I just hope it's a huge success.
I'd say it is.
I want to see
far.
Sebastian Bourdais winning the championship. I was saying that last year. I said it during the off season. I'm going to say it all year long again. I really do.
That is probably the slimmest. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
It's not going to happen, and it's just painful. It's still painful.
Yeah,
I
that
really don't have a comment towards it. I really don't.
it's like that one scene from like the 2008
What?
championship race. That sound you hear is the hammering of the final coffin of the final championship driver's hope of upsetting Jimmy Johnson.
Look, though, what did I say, though? I said if Sebastian Bourdais does not win the Daytona 24
Yeah,
and in subsequent races does not finish well, he's not going to win the championship.
yeah.
Look what happened. Horrible or not horrible, he just had really bad luck in Daytona.
Well, he wrecked
And
out leading basically, which sucks.
Yeah, but wasn't it raining?
No, well, it wasn't raining. It just had. I can't remember. It was like some type of
I can't
mechanical
remember
issue.
either,
I can't.
actually.
I'd have to go back and watch. Yeah.
But and then goes in the Sebring and the rain there, and it just didn't really work out there as well. In fact, didn't they wreck?
Yeah, they wrecked in both the first two races. I know that.
Yeah, and
it's
that's
really-
it. I mean, that's
yeah,
it.
It's over.
It's so hard to recover from that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I said it. I was very hopeful. Bourdais was building from last year, and to transfer it to this year, it just didn't happen.
It's always next year.
You think this is the year? I really do.
Hopefully.
We could be like,
Going back to the Cup Series, I think it'd be totally dope to see 16 different winners.
Hey.
I think 16 plus is ideal. I think anything less would kind of suck.
We're close. Well, we still
We're
got
getting
what?
there.
13 races left,
Yeah.
and we've already got 12 winners. 11. Yeah, no, we got 12, don't we?
I think it's 12.
Yeah.
I think
So
it's 12.
it's still possible, man. We got
It's
time.
possible.
Yeah.
It's actually a very good possibility.
And out of the guys that haven't won, Truex could win any given week. Gibbs can win any given week. Gillen can win a race.
And
this year.
McDowell.
McDowell could definitely win a race this year. SVG, shoot, he could win a race. Allmendinger could win a race. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
there's opportunities. And shoot, we still got Daytona and Talladega left on the schedule. And
Yeah.
Atlanta.
But
Yes,
16
stand
plus
that damn place.
is the goal. I want to see 7 different winners in F1.
Boom!
Wouldn't that be the most amazing?
Look at you go! Look at that! Freaking Nostradamus right here. Look at it. We got 7 winners. We're not even. We're just barely halfway. Like, let's go. Look at Tom, man.
Oh man.
That was great.
That was
amazing
a great
F1
call.
season that we've seen since 2013. I think that would just be amazing. I think we're going to see Danny Ricciardo in Red Bull once again.
Oh,
And he's going to be right
It's
alongside Max
possible.
Verstappen.
Hold on. It is the summer break. This is Checo's Spa was his opportunity to prove himself. He did have a good qual, but he did not finish on the podium. All right. So even with the 10 grid penalty that Max had, he still beat him. So, you know what? It's still up in the air, I think. We'll see. If it doesn't happen after this summer break, then it's not going to happen for the rest of the year.
yeah.
I still think we got some time on that. But I still think it's a possibility. I do. I think it is.
Yeah, and Daniel Ricciardo turning up. I mean, got points this weekend, so
Yep.
it can happen. I'm with you.
And it's going to be the dream team once again, except both drivers are going to be more mature. They're going to be able to talk things out.
Oof.
It's not going to be toxic
Yep.
anymore, and everybody's going to know their place.
Oof.
I
Yeah,
think that
oof.
opportunity arises this year. And then
man.
for my final my final hopes for this year, I think it's deservable. I think that it's going. It's a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of time. But a matter of time again. But we're going to see Trackhouse. My hope, Chastain in the Final Four. And
Ooh. What is he, the last driver on the cut line right now? He can win, though. He can win. We haven't even mentioned frickin' Chastain on that list of guys that could win this year. But Championship 4,
man.
that's a reach, man.
I don't know. I don't even know if he can make the playoffs, man. He's just been Bubba Wallace has been better than him.
Oh, facts.
In the second half of this season so far by far.
Oh,
I mean,
by far,
it's not even a competition. I mean, it's Trackhouse has fallen off a freaking cliff. In 2024, the performance that they have had has been dismal, comparable. Yes. It's just been awful. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Chastain does not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. But we see it every year, though. There's always one surprise driver that makes the round 8. And if you can make the round 8, you have a chance at a championship, in my opinion, no matter how far back in points you are. But
that round of 8, though, I mean, look at the drivers that are there now, though.
Yeah.
You've got the Hendrick lineup. You've got Penske. I mean, Ryan Blaney is on a freaking tear right now.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And Joey Logano is doing...
he's turning up. I mean, he's doing what he does,
He is doing exactly what he does every even year.
Yep.
Every even year, he is doing the Joey Logano.
Yes. He's going to be in the Final Four. Like, I think we said that in the offseason. I still believe it. Without a doubt in my mind. Yeah.
RFK's turning up too. I think their performance has been getting better. Brad won a race.
Yeah.
Brad won a race at Darlington. Chris Buescher, I foresee him winning a race before the end of the year too. But there's so many good contenders. I just don't think Chastain has a fighting chance. I just don't think so.
Look, they got some big dollar sponsors. They got Busch Beer with them this year. That's big money. Big money. And I think that Trackhouse is very smart with where they put their resources. I think all that money is going to go right back to the team. We're going to see a huge performance increase. I really do.
Yikes!
And I think that's going to translate to Chastain. Maybe a little bit of Spire Motorsports going to or Spire having a great run too. But Trackhouse really making it to the Final Four.
Oh.
Oof.
All the stuff that I'm excited about, I'm going to stay in the realm of NASCAR because that's all I really watch. So I know you guys really wanted to hear my takes on Formula E, but I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Goodness.
But I'm really excited. Like Jake kind of stole mine from me, but I was really wanted to look forward to see Larson this year and all the stuff that he's got going on. I just, I'm not biased, but I think he's the best, unbiasedly. I think he's the best.
He's the
best. And I want to see Alex Bowman have a good year too because I really like Alex Bowman. He's my second favorite driver, so I want to see Alex Bowman do good this year too. It's kind of broke my heart to see him have the year he had. I'm interested to see.
I think I said this a few weeks ago, but I think Alex Bowman, like I said, every year we see one driver make a run to the round of 8. And if you can make it to the round of 8, you have a legitimate chance at a championship no matter how points behind you are. I think Bowman is legitimately that guy this year. I really do. I think he's going to pull a Chastain in 2022. He's going to find himself in the Final Four this year. I really do. I think that is the dark horse to watch out for.
See Joey Logano finally show up this year. I mean, he took a year off, so I can't wait to see what he does this year. I mean, I wish I could vastly underperform for an entire year at my work. I mean, if you ask my boss, I've been vastly underperforming since I started. I also
Leave it to Jay.
am looking forward
his boss is a dad.
to seeing Danny Hamlin wins nothing this year. Jake kind of stole that one from me too. I'm looking forward to seeing my favorite driver beat Danny Hamlin again. And I'm looking forward to the clash at the Coliseum. I'm not looking forward to going to the Coliseum because that place is an absolute freaking dump. And a NASCAR, NASCAR should just buy it because at least when NASCAR comes to town, like there's people like have the like incentive to actually go in the stadium to watch an event. So the best. So yeah, NASCAR should take it and just pave over it and just make it a permanent track there. And I'm just excited for the whole NASCAR.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, dude. like, I mean, it's gone now. Like, they're not going back to the Coliseum. But honestly, that would be a great, like, since we lost Auto Club, I mean, why not, dude? Let's just pave that damn thing, turn it into a racetrack.
R.I.P. to the homie.
Yeah, no doubt.
NASCAR season. And I hope Ryan Blaney does really good again this year, and I hope Lyle Gregson gets punched again.
It was
I think that covers it all.
Alrighty. Well, that's it. That'll do that. Yeah, that was fun, dude. I enjoyed that. That was a very interesting subject to talk about in the off season, and I feel like we did pretty good on a lot of those. I think you did a lot better than me on a lot of those hopes. But there's still some at play. I mean, we got. What did we say though, Tom? I guess the best way to end this. What did we say in the off season? This is going to be the prime era of motorsports. Like everything is looking up and up and up and up, from sports car to IndyCar to Formula One. Now it's really actually surprised me. So that one's actually I can't count that one as a bad. And then NASCAR just being an absolute flop this year, in my opinion. I don't think it's been that great. I mean, we've had what, 2 good races, 3, Chicago, Bristol,
and Darlington.
Yeah, Darlington was good. Yeah. Other than that, I can't think of another good one. I can't.
What do you mean 3 wide at Atlanta across the line?
Yeah, we had that drag race at Kansas.
Kansas. With 1970s technology cameras.
Yeah.
It just adds a little spice to it, you know.
Just a little spice.
Yeah. Look, the first 2 races of the year really went against what we said on this was going to be the best year of motorsports.
I think the first 3. I think I'd chalk up the Chili Bowl the same way, dude. I mean, really, everything up to the race, the entire week of the Chili Bowl was amazing until the race, and and then it was like you said, Daytona 500 terrible, Rolex terrible. I mean, we just got off to a terrible start, and we've just really never recovered.
Well, F1 has been phenomenal.
Oh, for sure.
I will say that F1 has done a phenomenal job this year. IndyCar, I have problems with the hybrid system just on how they deployed it during mid-season. But that's a small gripe versus the overall season that they have put together. It's not one of the best seasons for sure, but it's still a lot better than some of its competition.
Oh,
for sure,
by far.
But look, we started in such a deep hole, and they are climbing out, and I think that by the end of the year, you know, we should be able to look back and say, yeah, we were playing catch up all year, and there were some good races out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Alrighty. Let's wind out this podcast with our race preview for this weekend. We got the ARCA series at Elko Speedway. We got the Michelin Pilot and the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Challenge at Road America. We'll start off first off with the ARCA race on Saturday at Elko Speedway, the Shore Lunch 250. My pick for this weekend, I know it's easy to take the low-hanging fruit. William Swalich, most dominant driver in ARCA recent memory. I mean, Gibbs had his run there. Other than that, I think Swalich is at, if not better than the run that with Jesse Love had his run as well. But Swalich this year is having a run, I think, better than what Jesse Love had last year. In my opinion, I think he is just that good. And he was one of the guys that was able to beat Jesse Love last year. And people don't remember that. Nobody's really been able to take it to him this year. But with that being said, there was 3 cars that finished on lead lap last weekend. Elko's going to race a lot like it did at Salem. And one of those cars was Andres Perez. I think we came into the offseason or into this preview or the offseason preview for ARCA series. We said Andres Perez was going to be the guy to watch this year, taking that step up and being a guy that can contend for wins and maybe a championship. Hasn't happened. But with that being said, this weekend, Andres Perez upsets the ARCA world this weekend, and he bests William Swalich and gets the dub. For my dark horse, I'm sticking with it since my good favorite in the ARCA series, Andy Jesus, isn't racing. I'll go with my next dark horse pick, which would be Christian Rose. He finished P5 this weekend at Salem. I think he doubles down, man. I think he goes back into another top 5 this weekend and puts on another phenomenal run. And if everything lines up, maybe we get some more ARCA wreck moments at the front of the field. Maybe he moves himself up a few spots, gets a late race restart. Maybe he can find himself in victory lane. So that'll be my dark horse.
For my favorite, I'm not going to share the love either. I'm on the same page as Jay when it comes to Swalich. I mean, low-hanging fruit. Perez, we started talking about him last year, and I do believe he's one of the great talents that will be coming through the ranks. Just give it a little bit of time. But I'm going to choose Perez. It'd be a great finish to that race if we saw Perez win, I think. So, and then for my dark horse, ooh, yeah, baby, I'm going with the Finch Redemption, baby. All right, what an absolute clown show that we saw out of that car last week. But you know what? Redemption, I am all about it, baby. Let's see him win this race, get a good finish, and put that stain on his record in the past.
I like it, man. I like the comeback story. Let's hopefully that happens for Finch this weekend. Oh, man. And then Saturday, we have the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series, the Road America 120. I mean, this is so unpredictable. This season's been freaking mad with Pilot Challenge. I mean, it's every race is just a barn burner. But for Grand Sport, I'm going to go with the number 57 Windward Machine. I think they get redemption this weekend. They take that Mercedes to the front of the field and they get a victory. I'd like to see it. I do kind of like pulling for that team. And then for my dark horse, I'm going to go with the number 13 McCumbee Ford. Just because, like you said, Tom, they're GT3, GT4. It doesn't matter. It's just they got to be different. They got to be weird. This team's not one of the main manufacturer teams. So they're an ultimate dark horse. So I'll pull for them this week as my dark horse. See if they could do something special.
I didn't make picks on this. I mean, like I said,
What's unpredictable anyway?
I kind of stopped watching it just because, you know, I was really watching it for Robert Wickens.
Well, he is back. And he did win last week or last race. Yeah.
Wow, I freaking missed that.
Yeah. I think it was the podcast that you missed. That's probably why you missed that.
Wow, I feel stupid. I still didn't make choices, but I mean, I'm going with. Look, I want to go with a Hyundai and Toyota. That's what I want to go with because Hyundai needs all the support they need, and Toyota because just yeah.
Oh, they're a super team. I mean, that's going to be pretty interesting in the Grand Sport. I'm excited. And like I said, dude, Pilot Challenge Series this year's been so unpredictable. Last year it was like about 3 teams that would win every single week. It felt like you get a surprise winner every once in a while, but this year it's just been all over the board because we get some weird full course yellows that change the race every time. It's just weird this year. But with that being said, TCR, I'm going with the number 33 Hyundai with Robert Wickens. I think he goes and wins last week in his return, or not last week, but a couple weeks ago in his return at Canadian Tire. I think he goes back to back. I'm for it. Godsacker and Robert Wickens. They're gonna win again in the number 33 Hyundai. And then my dark horse, I'm gonna go with the number 12 Starcom Machine. No reason, but just for the meme.
Starcom?
Yeah.
Like the Cup Series team?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they've been running a few races this year, and they're going to be racing this weekend, so I'm excited to see what they can do.
Okay, well, I'm the same lineup because I'm all for redemption, baby. I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, man. That's going to be a great race. I'm excited for it. Road America is freaking mint. It doesn't matter what you take there. We could take shopping carts to Road America, and it would be entertaining. I think it's one of the. I think it honestly is the most premier racetrack in North America. I think I'd put it over Indianapolis, Daytona. Name one. I love Road America. All right, let's talk about the IMSA Sports Car Championship weekend here, or Sports Car Weekend at Road America for the WeatherTech Challenge Series. GTP. Oh, this is a good pick. I'm going with the number 31 Action Express. I am. I'm a Pipo Derani homer. Their championship's pretty much over. I mean, really, if you're in a Cadillac this year, it's been tough. But why not? Let's just say they win this race. Let's go with it. We're gonna go with it. I'm an optimist, so we're gonna go with them as the winner. And then my dark horse, I'm gonna go with the number 5 Proton in GTP. For every reason we've said 1,000 times on this podcast over the last year and a half, underdogs. Let's go, Proton.
For my favorite, I'm gonna choose. I'm not giving up. I'm going 0-1 Caddy Bourdais. I know it's horrible. I made that prediction way back in January. I don't care. I'm sticking with it. My boy Bourdais, not giving up. I'm not giving up neither. And then for my dark horse, I'm going with Proton as well. I mean, come on. That's the coolest freaking thing out there right now is that number 5 Proton in the GTP series, really just sticking it to the man. And, I mean, it's just, I love underdog stories. I think this number 5 Proton team could be underdog of the century.
I agree. It's a matter of time before they win. I know it, man. I'm confident.
Yeah.
All right. LMP2, I'm going to go with the number 88 AF Corsa. I know I picked them for the last round at Canadian Tire. Didn't work out for me. But I think they get redemption this week. They get the same lineup that they get back from when they ran at Watkins Glen. They got the Rolex 24 winner Nielsen in the car, or the Le Mans winner Nielsen in the car. I think that's going to be a big influx and a big help to this team. I think they're going to get the job done this weekend for LMP2. And then my dark horse, I'm going to go with the number 8 Tower. They had an abysmal run at Canadian Tire. I think maybe they turn it around this weekend.
All right. For my LMP2 picks, I'm going to go with the number 2 United for my favorite. Let's go Ben Keating. I like the dude. I like him. All right, and then for my dark horse, I'm going to choose him for the rest of the year. It's the number 33 Ligier Sean Creech machine because again, great underdog story. Let's see them do something, and again, let's see him stick it to the man.
How awesome would it be to see them with that American flag paint scheme,
Ooh,
Ligier
man.
Road America? How freaking
Man.
storybook would that be?
That'd be awesome.
That would save this year, man, right there.
Yeah.
That would dig us right out of the hole. Oh, man. All right, and then when it comes to the Pro Series, GTD Pro, I'm going to go with the number 3 Corvette. I think they go back-to-back. They won at Canadian Tire and Watkins Glen. So, no, they won at Watkins Glen. I can't remember. Was it Canadian Tire? I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. There's so much stuff that happens. But they've already won a race this year. I think they win again. I'm going to go with the number 3 Corvette. They've really turned it up here at the end of the year. Imagine if they would have started as strong without the mechanical issues at the beginning of the year. I think they'd be your championship favorite at this point. So unfortunate. But there's still time. Maybe they can climb back in it. And then my dark horse, purely because of Joey Hand, I'm going with the number 65 Ford Multimatic team. I mean, Ford, outlier. I mean, what? Got to be so different. Weird car, mechanical issues, wings falling off. Just so much drama around it. But Joey Hand is a freaking amazing race car driver. And now people are paying attention because of his race at NASCAR. And it's like we've been saying for years, or the entire time we've been on YouTube, how good he is. And he's going to prove it this weekend with that Ford. And maybe Ford gets that dark horse in victory lane for the first time this year. That'd be freaking awesome.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, for my favorite, I'm sticking with it for the rest of the year. I mean, I've stuck with it all year long. I'm going with the number 14, Vassar Sullivan. Lexus. I mean, you've got a pretty dang good driver lineup there. Lexus has been behind the ball this year, though, unfortunately, and they're just not on that dominating tour that they were on last year with the Pro class. So I still think it could be turned around. We could get a couple of good races in and see where these guys end up at the end of the year. But I'm still pulling for them. They're my favorite team. I think they're the most beautiful car out there. And I think whenever you put just a Vassar Sullivan car out on track with the beautiful Seal Master paint scheme. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. But then for my dark horse, I'm gonna share the love here because typically I would choose a 65 Ford. Excuse me. But I'm gonna go with the 64 Ford. For the same reasons Jay chose the 65. I mean, weird car, honestly horribly put together. It seems like everything was last minute, but underdog story, redemption, I'm all for it, baby.
Yes. And then for GTD AM, I'm going with the number 12 Vassar Sullivan. Just a lot of same things Tom said with the 14. I like this team just as much, if not more, than the 14 team, just because the fact that they have a spotter as their main driver in this car. And I just, ever since that story came out at pre-Daytona testing or the Roar, I've just have been pulling for this team every week. I freaking love Vassar Sullivan anyway, but just add that extra layer. Just, I think that this is the week they finally go back to victory lane. I'd love to see it. And then my dark horse, I'm going to go with the number 70 Inception McLaren. And not because of speed. This team has got freaking speed. But can they finish a race? Can they not wall the damn thing? Can they do something to actually find victory lane? Can this be the week they finally get those demons out from underneath them? I think so. I'm going to take them as my dark horse, and they might actually end up winning this race.
That's a good dark horse pick, really. So for my AM class, for my favorite, I'm again going with the number 12, Vassar Sullivan, Lexus. I mean, everything Jay said. That is such a cool story. The man won at Long Beach, and I mean, I think that really just solidified the competitiveness of that AM team and Lexus. It's a great driver lineup. Obviously, they've proven it. It's a pretty decently fast car in the AM class. And you know, I think more to come. I really do. I really do. Then for my dark horse, again, I'm going with the 55 Proton Ford Mustang, baby, because that car just freaking blows, and it's a Proton team, and man, it would be awesome to just see them get a good finish, let alone win the race.
Can you imagine if this weekend all the dark horses we picked, or all the dark horses won this weekend? Like, goodness that'd be freaking awesome.
The world would be flipped upside down.
Dude, it would be freaking amazing. Alrighty. Well, those are our picks for this weekend's races. We got a good 3 races to watch, so that's gonna be exciting. Some IMSA's back, my favorite racing series at the moment. So I'm excited for that. But with that being said, that'll pretty much wrap up this podcast tonight. So we'll round this thing out with make sure you guys go follow us on all of our socials. We got X, Patreon, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, as well as streaming on Kick. So thanks to you guys, everybody that tuned in on Kick. Make sure to go follow us on there because we keep saying it, but we will have some Kick exclusive streams. Maybe we'll do, me and Tom have been thinking about doing maybe 2 watch parties a month, 1 voted on, which I need to put that poll out. I was going to do that today. I completely forgot. It's the end of the month. I got to get the new watch party poll out. I'll post that. Just stay tuned on the channel. I'll post that poll for you guys to vote on. And then we might do a second one, which we select, one that we want to watch. And that might be our Kick exclusive watch party. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel with everything updated. Go follow us on our Discord. Big, thriving Discord with all kinds of drama, news, rumors. Tom brought up our Discord several times here tonight. It's just, there's so much stuff in there for you to access and read. So go check that out as well. Thanks to everybody that subscribed, watched our podcast, our videos, everything over the last year and a half. We really appreciate you guys. And Tom, is there anything else going on this week? I know Thursday.
We got RTP, baby.
Yeah.
RTP on Thursday. Barber. Oh, I hate that track so much. So much. I hate it. But I'm gonna try my best. For sure. Had a dismal run at Indy. But we're top 100 in points right now, which is good. Which is really good. I mean, we're gonna see a drop off of drivers, and it can happen. We can do this. We can do it. We can do it. I'm really excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. So we'll be doing that on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in. We'll be doing a little bit more of that RTP racing at Barber. So come cheer us on, come support us as Tom continues to keep racing in these Road to Pro races. Try to make the cut. So it should be fun. We're gonna have a great time on Thursday, and then then we'll be back next Tuesday for another podcast here on the Thank You Boys Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. And with that being said, this is it. Podcast episode 81. We'll be back next week with the recap of these races as well as our series previews from the off season. We're gonna go over those with you guys, see how those are holding up. So I can't wait to do that next week. See how good or bad we did. So thank you guys again. Tuning in. We'll catch y'all in the next one.
You got it at best. Come on.
It's a pretty good drive.
Yeah, that was right.